Hello and welcome to Dr. Says this about that. Today is March the 5th, 2026, and I'm going to comment a little bit more on this horrific attack of Iran. And I've already done another video, the one where I'm in the orange shirt. And so if you want to hear my thoughts on that, watch that one. I'm really just going to talk about how Hegseth responded Monday morning and Tuesday morning and a little bit on what President Trump said. I'm just shocked that they think that the right way to talk about what's going on in Iran is to tell how wonderful they've been, how successful they've been. On a scale of 1 to 10, how has it been going? President Trump said a 15. Okay, what are you saying? What you're saying is we've killed a whole lot of people. In their minds, they're saying we've been successful. Like, everybody who plays football or roots for their team of any kind hopes that we'll win. That's a perfectly natural, normal aspect of the human life. But you don't do that when 1,000 people have been killed, including school aged children and their teachers. That is a horrific mistake. I don't know if the bomb was sent by Israel or by us. It doesn't matter. President Trump and Hegseth should be leaning sincerely into that microphone and saying, "We are so sorry that happened." And in fact, we're so sorry about the deaths of the Ayatollah. Uh, and they show human sorrow and apology. You can do that in everyday life, even though you still support what you did. So you're really saying, I'm so sorry, I had to do that. We had to do that. The threat from Iran was imminent. We had to take action. And I think about 50% of Americans agree that was an evil empire. I'm sorry. I will apologize to all the Muslims who live there or are from there. That must be a terrible thing to hear. I don't want to have to say that. But when you see army after army after army with the mask on and the gorilla and the rifle, you know, we are going to kill. It's like, oh my gosh, show me the negotiation table where people in coat and ties are negotiating with the other side, trying to work out a peace, something that's acceptable to both sides. That's what I want to hear. And then to go as far, first time since World War II, is to have a submarine blow up a battleship and then not even say anything about the battleship was positioned, the attack was imminent. We had to stop it before they shot into the city and killed hundreds of people. No, that's not what happened. The battleship was way off to the east, near India. And so it was just pure meanness and some retribution. And for that other speaker to sit there and say, uh, well, I think it was the Senator John Kennedy, said that may he rest in pieces. Okay, Hannity played it, and he just thought that was funny. I mean, what are we in the third grade here? That's a horrible thing to say. The great religious leader to millions of Iranians has just been murdered. And you can't have a little bit of human decency not to joke about his horrific death? Come on, people. We've got to do better. And I think Hegseth was saying that they took out a group that was plotting to assassinate President Trump. Well, that was a terrible thing to try to do. I mean, the whole attack on the Twin Towers was just a horrifically horrible, egocentric, egopathic, sociopathic, psychopathic thing to do. How could he justify in his mind that that was okay. It's just unbelievable. And it's caused 3,000 deaths over here, billions of dollars worth of damage to property, and then all the deaths that came out of that in Iraq. Just terrible. When are we going to grow up, people? And and so he was Senator Kennedy was saying that we killed that group and that President Trump had the last laugh because, haha, we killed them instead. Again, are we in junior high here? Do not speak that way. They didn't do a good job with the two deaths of the uh, citizens that were killed with the whole ICE thing in Minnesota. They should have been heartfelt sorry for that. We want everybody that knew her 3 children, to know that we are so sorry that that happened. He shot in self defense. We're going to be looking into whether he could have been trained not to shoot right at a person driving a car who did not have a gun, who was not really aiming the car at the ICE agent. And so he should have had some form of punishment for that. And then the other guy, he was really a worse situation. He was carrying a gun. He was being antagonistic. Did he deserve to die? No, because the ICE agents were not trained to stay calm. I mean, it's almost like they were in there to attack the neighborhood. I thought they were in there just to pick up illegal aliens. I have never heard that explained. Why were there whole troops of ICE agents walking in the streets? Can you explain that? I don't. I watch the news every day. No one ever explained it. So you try to calm a situation. You try to talk to somebody like this ER nurse instead of getting aggressive and then causing him to like fight back or something. And it just got out of control. And then somebody yells, he's got a gun. And boom, 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 they pump all these bullets into his body. That was so unnecessary. And it speaks of very poor training. Won't they let me come and do a training on how to interact with people that are not enemies and they are not clearly showing aggressive signs? They're just there saying, hey, ICE out. Just go, we hear you. Just put up your hands and say, we hear you. We're trying to get out of here as fast as we can. Oh my gosh, why is this so hard? So, the way they're handling this whole invasion of Iran is pitiful. What's interesting is that you can see that they think they're saying the right thing. We went in there and we're winning. We're doing a good job. There is no pushback. We've won here, here, and here. Aren't we wonderful? You know, it just speaks of the child ego state. That's where I put 9 different levels of the child ego state. And the most extreme one, number 9, is megalomaniacal child. I'm the ruler of the world. I mean, you could just see that President Trump was envious of Putin taking his soldiers into Ukraine and killing over 1 million people have died. And I'm sure that means there are 2 or 3 million spouses, children, family members that are suffering today because their loved one is gone. It's horrible, but at least that was very clear. President Putin was clearly the narcissistic aggressor. President Trump, not as much, because he went and actually attacked somebody who's been creating, fomenting aggression and heartache and destruction in the Middle East for years and years and years. Just stop it. No, we want to build an atomic bomb, nuclear bomb. No, we're not going to let you do that. You're not trustworthy. I'm surprised I haven't heard them list the number of countries that have the nuclear bomb. I think Russia does. Are they trustworthy? Not really. Um, But clearly the aggressiveness and again, the total completely lack of empathy, sympathy, sorrow. We're so sorry. I just want to mention that there was one wise person over in Gaza who said, if we had known that Israel was going to come back like this and destroy our buildings and kill so many people, maybe we shouldn't have attacked them on October 7th. I was like, oh, there you go. Good for you. And somebody else at that moment in the interview stepped in or replied and said, no, we're not sorry. I mean, I kept waiting month after month, year after year. When is Hamas going to say, I'm sorry, you're right, we attacked you, my bad, so sorry, we're not going to attack you anymore, we're going to put our guns down. Okay, if you'll stop bombing us, we'll put our guns down and we'll come to the negotiation table. Never did. What is going on? It blows my mind. I teach this in my office every day. I call it Yimmy. Yes, you're right. I did that, or we did that. My bad. I'm sorry. And then another I is, I'm not going to do it anymore. That simple catchphrase of giving up and giving in for what? For peace. To stop the killing. Why was that so hard? I mean, this ideology that we're going to fight and fight until everyone's dead. The IQ of that just goes down, down, down. And certainly, even if you disagree with that, the EQ of that, or Daniel Goleman called it the EI, of emotional intelligence, is zero. Think, what is the best way to deal with this to get our needs met? Going and raising an army and then attacking innocent young people at a music festival and innocent families in a kibbutz is just undeniably narcissistic, egopathic, and sociopathic. Nobody can defend that. I really wish President Trump would ask me to fly up to Washington, D.C. so we could discuss how do we progress from here. Not only to keep America safe and everybody, all of our allies in the area over there safe, but also to think about what's going to happen next if we don't behave well. A war, everybody's saying maybe World War III is going to happen. We don't want that. Okay, what do we do in the coming week or 2 weeks to keep that from happening? Well, number one, we should be saying, I'm so sorry that we felt the need to take out your leader and all the other leaders in one horrific bomb. We're so sorry. What a horrific thing for you and your country to experience. Think about all of their families, the wives, the children, the grandchildren, having that just robbed from them. President Trump needs to be saying that. We're so sorry, and we're trying to wrap this up as fast as we can because we don't want any more deaths. Instead of talking about the brave soldiers who were just stationed in Kuwait, which is where my nephew was for a while, thank you God he wasn't there then, saying, also talk about the experience of the other people. I teach that in here. You're married, you're in a family. Be concerned about the feelings, needs, hopes, dreams, soul, psyche of the other person. If you don't do that, you're being what? Egocentric, egopathic. It's right there. That's the top one right there. Right there. My egopathic parent. Ego state. It's not attractive. It's not smart. Let me help you make solid, good, healthy decisions. For us, yes, but for them as well, and for all of our future. Okay? Please call me. If you have any questions or comments, please put them down below. Thank you for watching again. I am Dr. Cedric Wood. Please have a safe and healthy weekend. Bye for now.